Hi there. Um, it's the day of Record Store Day. I'm not going to Record Store Day because ah, I don't see anything they are releasing that catches my interest. Um, Good reason, I think. And it's too crowded, and I don't care much about Record Store Day. But I do have a bunch of records. Majority of them are cheap genres. It's soul, it's jazz, it's funk. And I guess I got only one like new release, and then two 7 inches that are new as well. I'm gonna show them first. They're both part of the Paradiso Vinyl Club. This is volume 20, Donavetta with Spontana Fontana. This is Black Vinyl release. It's a mispress, but the music is good. But the label says the Dawn Brothers. That was the previous release. I love the artwork. What you get is sort of a bluesy, psychedelic garage rock thing. Uh, Pretty good. They're all Dutch, and for those who don't know, the Paradiso Vinyl Club, I did unboxings in the past. I'm not doing them anymore because I don't have much time and not a lot of people watch them. Good reason not to do them, I guess. Anyway, it's a vinyl club that releases 7 inches, and they're started by this Dutch uh, club or concert hall, you could call them. They're one of the most famous in Holland, and they're supporting Dutch musicians. And one couple of years, couple of times a year. Jesus, my English is very, very bad. A couple of times a year, they release 7 inches. It's very bad English. I'm sorry, I'm tired, I guess. I don't know. And this is number 21. This one came out a couple of days ago. This one, the previous one, as you can see, has no sticker, but that's because the sticker is on plastic sleeve, which normally accompanies the 7 inch. Anyway, this is Pete Philly, and this is favorite song and Come Together. Limited to 200, to I don't know how many copies, but this is 428. This one, there's no mention of it being limited, but it is. White vinyl. Pete Philly is a Dutch rapper, singer, and he's been out of the scene, kind of out of the music scene for a long time because he had Lyme disease. But he's back, and this is actually really, really interesting. He works with a lot of jazz musicians on this one, so it's a lot more jazzy. It's soulful, and it's kind of a hip hop thing, not full on hip hop, but yeah, it's an interesting 7 inch. I like what I'm hearing here. This is pretty good. So there you are, the two Paradiso Vinyl Club releases from the last couple of weeks. Actually, they got released pretty quickly, one after another. Normally there's like a month in between the releases, but this time not. Um, Cheap records. Starting off with one that I actually really enjoy. This is Filibuster's Volume 2, compilation on Philadelphia International. And it features a lot of really cool music. Sorry. You got the 3 Degrees, the Tramps, the OJs, People's Choice, Billy Paul, the Intruders, MFSB, Derek and Cindy, the Ebonies, and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. It's funky, but mostly soul with a disco twitch. This is from 1974, so it's not really disco, but you can hear where the disco sound is coming from. But an interesting record. Picked this up for cheap. Then I picked up a bunch, actually a small haul, you could call it. 9 records, I guess? How many? 8 records at the same thrift store. First 3 they're okay. They're not great. This is The Barge with Rhythm of the Night. Song is pretty good. So is Prime Time and You Wear It Well. But the rest is kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's not good. It's very 80s. It's got the printed lyric inner sleeve. And the hairstyles, they're pretty wild. But yeah, The Barge on Gordy Records. 1985, if I'm not mistaken. This is the German release. Then I have probably the worst record by this artist that I have. George Benson's 2020. The song 2020 is actually good, but it's got a lot of crap on here. Comes in the original printed lyric sleeve. It's on Warner Brothers, and we're talking another German release. Yep. Yeah, this. I really love George Benson, and I love the jazz funk he did, but this is slick, smooth, and I'm keeping it because it's got a couple of tracks that I really like, but overall, this is not that good. Also picked up Regina Belle with All By Myself. We're talking 1987 here. It's got a slick sound. It's a couple of tracks that I really like. It's got a printed inner sleeve, and it's on Columbia. But yeah, it's the late 80s, and you hear a late 80s sound. It's not bad, but it's not that good. Still need to listen to the next couple of records. This one I need to clean. This is Gladys Knight and the Pips with The One and Only. 1978 on Buddha. It's pretty nasty. I didn't check the vinyl, but it's just nasty and it cleans up, I'm sure. But yeah, I love Gladys Knight and the Pips. Probably a disco sound, who knows. 1978. Then a couple of updates ago, I showed albums by a Dutch folk duo, Ellie and Rickert, who later would become Christian musicians, and I found another one of their non-Christian albums. This is Adam. And just look at them. They're flower children, and that's what this music is. You know, it's very hippie, flower power thing. It's on Imperial. 1973. There's a couple of really early ones, late 60s, early 70s, that I still want. They're more of a psychedelic folk sound, but this is sort of folk rock, folk pop. Then we got the Tramps. This is 3. 1977 on Atlantic. This one is The Night the Lights Went Out, and that's a classic disco track. But yeah, I love the artwork. I love the cover, and it's music that I enjoy. So, also picked up Ella and Louis, Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. I don't know which pressing this is. It's a Dutch pressing on Verve. But I don't know what year this came from. I always love the artwork, the picture, and it's jazz, so that's gonna be enjoyable. Now this one, I need to address Fat City Final, Doug. Doug is a reggae. He's very knowledgeable in reggae, and this is a reggae record, which I don't know much about. I've heard of the artist, and I found a compilation, I think last year on CD, that I didn't quite enjoy that much, but that was like mid to late 80s. This is early 80s. This is Alpha Blondie and the Natty Rebels. Jah Glory. If you know anything about this Doug, let me know. I know that this guy is not a Jamaican artist. He's from the Ivory Coast. And this is the French pressing on Sillard Records. You get 2 tracks in English and the rest is in, I don't know what language they speak in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coastian? I don't know. But it shows there, doesn't it? So they're not in English. But yeah, this is reggae, and I what I've heard quickly, I really enjoy this, but not really his other stuff that I've heard. The next 3 are online purchases from Dutch Marketplace, Dutch eBay, you could call it. I haven't actually done anything with that site for a couple of weeks now, but still had these lying around, not showed them before. This is Edwin Starr's Involved on Gordy Records. Just showing you the Gordy label, so I don't need to show it anymore. It does come with the Motown inner sleeve, because Gordy is a Motown subsidiary. And this is Edwin Starr doing a more funky thing. War is on here. It's probably his biggest hit, but it also has funky music. Show Enough Turns Me On. He does a version of Cloud 9. A lot of this is done by Norman Whitfield. It says there, Norman Whitfield, who also did stuff with, I believe, Rolls-Royce. And I've got more records to show that he did. But I really love this. This is amazing. Also happy with this one, even if it's not really the funky stuff, more disco-y. But hey, it's Millie Jackson. I love Millie Jackson. This is Get It Out Your System. And the back features a toilet seat. So yeah, it shows the quality of lyrics, probably, because she does a lot of nasty stuff on this record, on her records. This is on Spring Records. It's funky, it's soulful, it's kind of disco-y because it's from 1978. But it's Millie Jackson, and I love Millie Jackson. And the last of the 3 records that I picked up online is Dennis Coffey, Instant Coffee. This is from 1974. It's on Sussex. It's got the original Sussex inner sleeve. It's got a scratch on side 1. Probably the reason why it was cheap. But yeah, it's Dennis Coffey, and it's funky, and I love Dennis Coffey, and his records are really hard to get here in Holland. This is a US pressing. Glad I picked this up. If you don't know Dennis Coffey, check him out. Just check him out. I got 3 more records to show. 2 of them are from the world's biggest record fair in Holland, in the world actually. It's in Holland, the center of Holland, a town called Utrecht. It's the biggest, like really, really the biggest record fair in the world, and it gets bigger each year. It's held twice a year. I went, and I had a migraine. Shit happens. But I managed to pick up 2 records nonetheless. First up is a US pressing of The Undisputed Truth, Higher Than High. This is my first Undisputed Truth record, and it's again a Norman Whitfield production. And it's funky. Funky. It's again on 40. Cool stuff. So if you love your funk, check out Undisputed Truth. Earlier, Undisputed Truth's more psychedelic soul, funk, but this is funky as hell. Another funky record that I picked up, it's The Auction by David Axelrod. This is a 2006 reissue, gatefold. It is a concept album dealing with slavery and auctioning off humans on Decca. But if you hear the music, it's funky. It's so good, and the message is great as well. It's just kind of a contrast because it's a really difficult subject to talk about, to sing about, to make music about, but he does it, and he does it funky. So it's, you hear funky music, but you're like, But still, classic album. And the last record I got is a new release, well, a new reissue actually. This came out last year, I believe, on Vinyl Me Please in colored vinyl, and that went for crazy money online, straight away. I mean, and then they decided to re-release it again. I saw it at the record fair several times, but I had pre-ordered it, and it arrived. This is Demon Days by Gorillaz. Amazing album, probably my favorite. It's got printed inner sleeves with the artwork of the characters that make up the band. It's black vinyl, nothing special, but the music is amazing. And I don't think I need to talk too much about Gorillaz. They're a Britpop group consisting of Damon Albarn and the guy who does the artwork, Jamie Hewlett, and it's hip hop and it's Britpop and it's a lot of different stuff, and it's really good. And that's it. That's my video. That's the update. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm not saying there's going to be an update very quickly because I don't know what's happening vinyl wise. You know, I have one record pre-ordered that I can pick up actually, and I will pick it up, but I will pick it up tomorrow. But otherwise, there's not much that I think I will find. But then again, who knows? Maybe I'll strike gold. You never know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.